My name is Antonio Lopez, and today the problem I'm going to be addressing asked me to consider how my Asian American heritage has influenced my identity as of today, and how it's going to influence me going into the future. I think since I'm at an Asian Youth Summit, you'd expect the answer to be that my Asian American heritage is an integral part of me. That without it, I would be nothing, and without it, I would be lost. But that's not the answer I'm going to give you. And I want to preface this by saying, throughout the rest of this, I'm going to be using culture and heritage a little bit interchangeably, but that's because I think that culture is the way in which we express our heritage, right? And without that expression, then what really is our heritage? Okay. So, that being said, yes, I am Japanese, and yes, I am Chinese, but I'm also Portuguese, and I'm also Spanish, and I'm also Irish, right? And I think those are all important parts of me. And yes, they've all impacted my identity as of today. But we as a society attribute too much of who we are to our heritage, to our culture, right? And I don't mean to argue that our cultures and our heritages don't impact who we are. They certainly do, right? But I think that it's important that we remember that our culture isn't all of us, isn't all of what we are. Right? And throughout history, it's important that we remember that cultures and heritages have been used as both a unifying ideal, a great example being this congregation we have right here, and a dividing belief. Right? And all you have to do is look at any conflict and you see that. Right? I'm of those that think, or that hope, one day, as a society, we will be able to look around and all we're going to see is blank faces, and all we see is blank slates until we are given a reason to think something of someone. We should be judged based off the actions we take and the manners in which we present ourselves to the world, not based off the regions where our families hail from. When we let our culture define us alone, we fall into very certain pitfalls of thinking. All of a sudden, it becomes very easy for us to stereotype, to generalize, to make unjust conclusions about people. And from there, the mistakes are even easier to make. Right? Now, it's easy for us to assume we know what someone's going to do, why they're going to do it, and what they want out of life. Right? But the truth is that personal ideals, personal beliefs, personal commitments, they're different from person to person. Another belief I have is that people are based off of nature and image. And if you're not familiar with that, that means that people make the decisions they make based off the experiences they've had. And a really simple example of that is, hey look, there's a fire. There's a fire, it burns. Don't touch the fire again. Right? Here's the food. Eat the food, tastes good. Don't eat that food again. Right? Okay. Right? And throughout a person's life, the amount of experiences like that you're going to have are practically innumerable. Even by the age of 10, by the age of 16. Right? The amount of experiences between two different lives make them completely different. Right? Myself and any of you have lived completely different lives, even though we've lived practically the same amount of time. Almost the same amount of time. Slightly different variations, right? And we live in practically the same communities. So, when we think about how a person's culture and heritage affect their experiences and how much their culture and heritage give to their experiences, we run into a problem. Culture is a subjective term. It's an abstract term. Right? If you gave two people a paper, told them to write down everything about their culture, even if they're from the same heritage, they're from the same city, from the same village, from wherever, right? As long as they're from the same place, you gave them two different papers, or you gave them two papers and you told them each to write down what makes their culture, what makes it up, right? Odds are, at the end of the day, you're going to have two very different papers, right? People don't see things the same way. Perspectives are always different, right? And in this way, culture is not something that we can easily identify, right? So when the question is asked about how much your culture or your heritage has affected your life, the answer is really up to you. How much do you let it affect your life? How much do you say it's affected your life? So when you ask me that question, here's my answer. Yes, I am an Asian American. And yes, I am proud. I am proud because that Asian American in me has allowed me to take certain opportunities, to take advantage of certain situations, like the situation I'm in right now, to answer a question regarding my past and regarding my future. To let me realize with that answer that the past is the past. My heritage is my heritage. And I can use that to do what I want to. Because going into the future, my heritage does not decide who I am. Going into the future, I decide who I am. I am the decider of my future. I am me.
today about the prompt. Right? And the prompt asked me to consider how my Asian American heritage has contributed to my identity and how it will continue to influence my future. I imagine the response that you're going to expect is that Asian American heritage is an integral part of myself. That if I lost it today, I would be lost for the rest of my life. But that's not the answer I'm going to give you. I'm going to preface this really quickly. Throughout the rest of this, I'm going to refer to culture and heritage pretty interchangeably. But that's mainly because I think that culture is the way in which we express our heritage. Without that culture, what is our heritage to us after all? Yes, I am Japanese, and yes, I am Chinese. But I'm also Portuguese, and I'm also Irish, and I'm also Spanish. Each of those cultures and heritages have impacted my life. But I think we as a society overly attribute our character to those heritages, to those cultures. It's not fair to do this for a number of reasons. That's something we're going to go over. Because I think that culture is, after all, a subjective and abstract term that really can't be applied that concretely to our lives. I'm of those who hope that one day we will live in a society where nobody is judged based on what our immediately think of it. And to do this, it means that we have to judge people, we have to define people based on the actions that they take and the manner in which they present themselves to the world and to us. Because when we let our cultures alone define us, we fall into certain pitfalls of thinking. Suddenly it becomes very easy for us to generalize, for us to stereotype, for us to make unjust conclusions. And from there, the mistakes are even easier. From there, we assume that we know what somebody's going to do, why they're going to do it. Nature via nurture. Which means essentially, for those of you unfamiliar, that a person makes the decisions that they make based off of the ideas and based off the experiences that they've had in their lives. Quick example of that would be if you touch fire and it burns you. You're never going to touch that fire again because it burns you, you don't like that. Or if you eat food that you like, you're going to eat that food again because you liked it. And throughout a person's life, the amount of experiences that you have become innumerable, incalculable, almost infinite. So to say that two people, even if they come from the same town, from the same city, from the same cultures, are the same is ridiculous. Okay. So when I talked about culture being subjective and abstract, the reason I say that, if you get two people from the same culture and sit them down and have them write papers about their culture, the odds are in favor that they would not be writing the same paper. By the end of the day, you have two very different papers relating to two very different ideas. And so that's important because when we're asked how our heritages, how our cultures affect us, we cannot concretely say that it's affected us this way. We get to decide the way in which our culture and heritage have affected us. We get to decide how far it goes. So when I'm asked the question, here's my answer. Yes, I am an Asian American. I am of Asian American heritage. I am proud. I am proud because it gives me opportunities. It has shaped my life to now. It has given me the opportunity to be here. It has given me the opportunity to answer this question. And it's given me the opportunity to realize that I am in control of my life. My heritage is my heritage. It is my past. But tomorrow, I am in control. Today, I am me.